Well, no, I'll open it up for everybody.
Okay.
You know, the more the merrier. Hi, everyone. We have some really good troll slayers that show up. So if it gets too
All
bad,
right.
go in and do.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome, welcome. Uh,
Welcome. All are welcome. Step into the light. Step
all
into the light.
exactly. I did post up. A lot of people ask how and what program we use. I just posted the new streaming outlook. Click on StreamYard. This is how we're doing it with StreamYard. You have to, purchase it or whatever. But anyways, if you guys are interested in that, if you wanted to do your own YouTube channel, this is how we're doing it when we're doing live. All right, so here we go. We have a lot to do. We have a lot of good questions, so please stick around. Thank you for joining us. I always believe that Lori and Danny and I, we really get down and deep into some questions, so it's always really good. And of course, we joke well. But first of all, we always want to do is what is everybody doing on their channel? If they have any announcements or anything like that, Lori, what do you got?
I'm so glad you asked. I'm starting a new tarot class. People wanted me to go ahead and go through the summer, even though we could have a brush with a storm or something. So it starts on it's 8-week course. It starts on Wednesday, July 2nd, and it's short notice because I just decided. So you can email me and I'll send you all the 411. And so email me at thewayofpositivechange@gmail. So thewayofpositivechange@gmail, and I'll send you the information. And I have readings available. You can schedule your own, book your own appointment, thewayofpositivechange.com, and scroll down to book an appointment. And that's it.
Yeah.
Lori, I have a question. I want a free tarot class. Why is it, and this is just really short, why is it the court cards give so many people headaches?
I used
One
to
sentence.
I used to get mad at that. I used to get mad at that until I just studied and studied and studied and studied. And that's why it's really good to take a course with somebody that has studied, so they can help you familiarize yourself with the characteristics of each of the court royals, right?
Yes.
And it's understanding the suit itself, the elements of the suit, the astrological associations that can be made,
Mm.
and then the personalities of uh, like, for instance, the Queen of Pentacles does not buy trendy furniture or trending clothing. You'll never see her in a puffed shirt or with bell bottoms, because she
Puffy.
only buys, yeah, so she only buys traditional, long lasting, clothes that,
Where does she shop?
well,
Never
for
mind.
furniture.
I'm going off the side. Sorry, we got a lot to
She
get
would
to.
We do.
she would shop at Goodwill.
No, she wouldn't. She would never be even seen in Goodwill unless she was dropping something off.
Okay, that's
She's not
me.
she's not hoity, but she wears timeless clothes. She doesn't get caught up in fads or fashion fads, because she likes her money.
Mm,
She likes to travel. She has better uses for her money.
there you go.
Yeah, there it is. All right.
Mhm.
A little side
Thank you.
sideways.
It was a great question.
All right.
Because, I was just thinking about that this week, where I had some pairs, and I'm putting them together, and I'm going, why is it that I still have issues with some of the court cards? So anyway, now I got my answer because I
Yeah.
don't study enough.
No, I mean, no, but it's true. It's true. They could absolutely represent an actual person, or it
Yeah.
could be, you embodying the qualities of that royal. Sorry. What's going on your channel, Danny?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out the court cards. That's all. Well, so my channel, I am getting ready to. So I just got back from it trip from the southwest at near Sheila's area, which was awesome. So that took a lot of my energy with that, and now I'm getting ready to do the Mount Shasta thing with Kim and Mel and Linda.
Wow.
And I know, and Kelly and Alice, and it's in my younger brother. It's gonna be. I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be really good.
Huge.
Yes, well, yeah, huge. So that's gonna be fun, and I don't have anything else going on my channel except trying to keep up with the crazy news and trying to keep my sanity. And that's that.
Yeah.
Sheila?
Yes. Well, as you can see at the bottom of the scroll, on June 14th, we rise up. There's the website you go to find out where your local events are going to be, and eat and buy as many tacos on that day that it's newsworthy. Like,
I need to make a taco. Where's my markers?
we want the local taco stands and all the street vendors or whatever to have record number taco sales that day, that it's newsworthy. That's what I say, especially on that day, for sure. So definitely go do that. I'm going to Denver. I'm already hooking up with a few TikTok people who live in Denver. We're going to meet up, possibly do a video or something like that. And then I want everybody, and this is another thing when you're going to the events, of course, stay out of DC. I already posted that. Make sure that everybody is calm, cool, and collective. We already know that. But videotape as much as possible, because if they get a story and they're only videotaping this one spot, with all of our documented, we can post and give them the truth. Like, it's peaceful. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's tearing down buildings, and all that stuff. So anyways, do that as well. Not much is going on my channel, other than I've gotten a few collaborations kind of out of the way, and then it'll probably be just me and some remote viewing. Take a deep breath. We have a lot to do today. Also, shout out to Hogarth and all of that. But we're also going to be doing a few one card pulls to get through a lot of the questions that we do have. I have at least 20, and then Danny and Lori also have a few. So we may or may not go over an hour. We're going to try to rapid this up, but the first question up, and a lot of people are wondering, the first question up is, what is the true intentions behind Trump's military style birthday parade thing? What is the intention? I have been posting everywhere I can how Kim Jong-un has a military parade. It used to be for his father's birthday. Now they've switched it to his birthday. Military parade for that. So it's just everything. They didn't have to have it on this day. He could have had it on any day.
Well, it is the anniversary of the armed forces and Flag Day, right?
That absolutely. I mean, those two are the thing, but it means that it will end. Any president that has any humility says, no, you're not going to do it on my birthday. We'll do it the day before or the day after or the next weekend. It doesn't have to be on that day. But it does
motivation.
Yeah. So what is the motivation on that? And we'll do like a full card pull on that and see what everybody's card has to say about what is the motivation behind it. And also, I just posted a little short video about how they're paying people to show up to the parade.
Yeah, and I read that somewhere you get a free red hat.
Yep. And then he wants to pay you like $1,000 crypto.
I want a free red hat.
And he what, Sheila? What did you say? He wants to pay you in crypto?
Yeah, it says on the advertisement they'll pay you $1,000 for this event, but it comes only in crypto money.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're not getting any money.
I don't think a bunch of MAGA people have crypto. I don't think so. I don't know. Well, that's not true. That's not true because they all bought his meme coin. That's not true. I take that back.
Yeah.
I take that
Yeah.
back. Wow. I
I
was
don't know
wrong.
anything about crypto, and I was thinking about that this morning, that I should at least learn how to buy, sell. I know I have some acquaintances that have their garage full of computers, and it takes a ton of energy to manage this digital money. But yeah, I don't know anything about it. I don't know how to get it. I don't know how to spend it. And I think that's I think that's a failing. I think we should know how to do that, even if we don't use it.
You just haven't learned it yet,
Yep.
I
Like the
don't own
court
it,
card.
but all three of the males in my family own it.
Really?
My brother and both of my sons. Excuse me. Wait. My brother, my nephew, and one son. Boy, you know what? That was the second thing I've been wrong about in 2 minutes. Okay. So let's ring the bell, clear out the wrong energy, bring in the right energy, clear it out.
The true intent.
Yes. And while you guys are shuffling, thank you so much, JC, for the donation. We really do appreciate
Thank you, JC.
Rose Blue, thank you so much. I can't hold air money in your hand. You can't hold air money. You're right. Definitely. And if there's anybody out there who wants to post the questions, I will do my best to watch for it, and then we can post it up on the screen so everybody knows what questions we're on. But whoever is ready, go for it. If we want to just, yep, go ahead, Lori.
Okay. So his ultimate reason for having it is he wants to show that he has power and control over the military.
Yes.
I didn't even get the birthday card. This is just about power and control over the military.
Yep.
That's what I got.
That's amazing. Danny,
you only threw 2 cards?
No, but those are right up at the top. So I just, they all just reinforce that. But I didn't ask how it was going to go. It doesn't look like it goes really great.
No, it doesn't. So I got something similar. I'm using my Deviant Moon deck, so it's kind of scary. But if you can look at that, there he is, the king. Everybody's cheering him. Yay, 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 yay. And then you got the hermit. He's trying to do this just to create fear in this hermit, especially this hermit, because it's like, oh my God, look what I just saw. But I did get it's just a show. It's a puppet show. That's what he's doing. I did get the judgment card in the potential near future. So he's going to be judged on this a little bit. I also got his health card. Something's going on with his health. Obviously, you can see it in the way that he walks. You can see it in, does he have a colostomy bag? Do you guys know?
Somebody was saying he had a Foley catheter.
Well,
Okay.
it looked like he had 2 bags on his legs, one for his pee, one for his poo. But
Ew.
No, you don't wear bags on your legs for poop. That goes okay.
That is true.
Okay. Anyway, I also got 2 5s. I've got the 5 of Cups, the loss, the sorrow. He's going to be starting to yak, and people are not going to listen so much. And I'm hoping it's the military, but he's got the 5 of Swords here, the abuse of power, and he's just sticking his tongue out, just going, nah, 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 you can't touch me. But this judgment card says, yeah, maybe we can. So that's it.
Well, I literally got the exact same thing where the devil wants to partner up with his army. That's the reason why I was laughing. I literally got the same thing. The devil wants to make sure that they sow solidarity in his thing. But as I got also the medical. I also got the medical card as well. And then 3 doctors, maybe the 3 pentacles. They're crafting, trying to figure out how to keep them alive. I don't know, but I also got the 3 of Pentacles and the medical card for that. And the love, like I want the military to show that they love me. But what happens is abuse and neglect. They're not going to give him the same love back, which is good. I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot of military men out there that are like, "Ooh, Trump," but not all of them. Because what happens is at the end of that, we have the they get really worried. Something happens in this parade. Something goes sour. I've been getting that for quite some time because the suffering and the worry and the anxiety starts to show up around it. And for some reason, something gets trapped. They feel trapped. The whole situation gets trapped. They really feel like they can't get out of it. Something happens, which is not good. So,
well, it's going to rain. It seems like it's going to rain. So that will put a dampering on some of it. But
that is true.
Yeah, maybe we can get some clarity about what exactly is going to happen.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if what kind of events are going to show up on that day. So we got the motivation. What is the event going to be? Because a lot of readers are getting it. I've been seeing that and I have too. So
how will it go? Will it be seen as a success, or what's going to happen at it?
Yeah. What's
going to happen at that parade? I thought there was only a 50% chance, but other people are saying they've upped it for rain. Yeah, I have a friend that's going.
Aren't they going to have it in the evening? The parade is going to be in the evening, correct?
I don't think so. Is it evening?
If it's going to be in the evening, the rain will be already done. If it's going to be in the mid-afternoon, they're going to get rained on. That's what the weather shows. Maybe somebody can look it up and see when the parade, but I thought it was going to be in the evening. After 6 p.m. So the parade is scheduled in DC.
Okay.
Yep. 6:30.
So that's still in Eastern. That's still light. It's not nighttime.
Like right. You still have 2 hours before.
Yeah, it doesn't get dark until like 8:30.
Right. So if it's going to be in the evening, they may or may not still have the storms going on. So who knows?
Okay.
Just being honest.
Well, it looks like there's a problem with the military itself. I don't understand what that is, but I guess there are some people that are just not sure that they want to do this.
Yeah.
You know, but then I also get a bad actor popping up, and I mean a not good. There's going to be a problem. Okay. What have you guys got?
Yeah, Danny, what'd you get? God bless America.
What did you hold up, Danny?
Oh, I think you're muted, my dear.
You're muted. And what card is that?
It's the death card, but it looks like when you look at this, the death and rebirth, it looks like that they're trampling on somebody, that they're squashing somebody down. I got a lot of fighting with the 5 of Wands. And this deck feels way more than just verbal back and forth. It's got clubs that are banging people on their head for entertainment purposes only. At the top of the reading, I got the Tower. Yes, I do believe something's going to happen. The final outcome, though, that I got was I got 3 kings in here. The final outcome is the King of Swords, so it feels like there's going to be something that Well, I'm hoping that comes up and that it's a good King of Swords that isn't over heavily handed. But because the hopes and fears right before the final outcome is temperance, is balance. So I'm really hoping that this King of Swords brings some balance to it instead of inflames it. That's right.
Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing that we say here is like any words that we use or anything like that. Nobody has any threats going out, any of that. And that's my precursor to my cards, okay? All right.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, so I literally got the inside, meaning the military, they're walking away. So there is something that somebody, they're like, we're not doing it. We're not going to do that. We are absolutely not going to do that. And then I also got a bad actor, and I'm not going to say this word out loud.
No,
We got a bad actor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Well, and then I got the Six of Pentacles, like the charity, also giving and receiving, but I got the cult members giving and receiving. So I don't know exactly what is behind the cult members giving and receiving. Maybe it's protecting me. I don't really know. I don't know if you guys have an intuition on that, but I'm kind of stuck on the other cards. And then
that's sort of like getting paid to attend.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. The cult members are getting paid. They're getting charity. Yeah. Okay. That would make a lot more sense. Okay. So then I got the Seven of Pentacles, a constant success. The sudden gain. All right. The sudden gain, the constant success, the working on it, this, that, and the other. And then I got disaster. So there is something. If it doesn't happen on that day, whatever the fallout is, also it feels like maybe the fallout of all of this is going to be a disaster at some point in time. But I do get a strong feeling that the military has already said, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And then they start having problems.
Yeah, so, I just don't want there to be cruelty towards people. I don't, let's not forget who this is.
Right. Well, that's why that's why we've been putting it out there. We don't want any Democrats or any protesters to show up in DC. It is a trap.
Well, there are people going.
Well, hopefully there's no Democrats. If the Democrats are showing up and it's a trap, then that's on them. We will not advocate for that. We will not support that.
Yeah, I think they'll try to stay safe. Yeah,
I hope so. But my first thing out of my mouth was we told you to stay away.
Is that the first thing?
Maybe the second, but but that's what I will say. If you guys get in trouble, you get there something, and we told you that it's a trap, and something happens, my first word out of my mind will be, "We told you so."
Where's my goat? My goat tail.
Here's mine. Okay.
All right. There's our strong warning. Here we go. So this is going to be a one card pool.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can't look at your card. It's going to be a surprise to everybody. And it doesn't matter which deck. I said deck.
You almost said.
I know. I said which
deck with an I instead of an E.
I know. You pull from, but it's just going to be a one card pull. If anybody has watched Hogarth and Us, we do the same thing. Kind of piggybacking on that, but it is. Will Trump succeed in using fear to gain more political power?
I'm going for the top card, guys and angels. All right, can you repeat the question?
Well, I'm sorry, say that question again, because it seems really redundant. Seems like that's what he's doing. I don't understand.
Will Trump succeed in using fear to gain more, not to lose, to gain more? Is his tactics gaining more support?
Okay.
Every
more?
day
Is
he
he
breathes.
gaining more? Is he gaining more or is he losing it? So I'm thinking he's losing it. So I want the cards to say, is he gaining it or losing it? And then we'll know.
I see. I see. Got it.
Okay, so do
Thank
you want to know if his actions are actually gaining him more or is
Gaining
he losing?
support. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is he gaining in support by doing these raids? By doing these raids, right?
Doing anything, all of it.
Doing all of it.
You know what I mean? Anything that he's doing out there, is he gaining? Is all of the Americans, is he gaining support? Is all Americans out there going, oh yeah, Trump? I mean, or is he losing it? So one card pull. Everybody ready?
No.
Don't look at it.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Now, what do we do? Oh,
Oh,
Wow. Is it we all have twos? No, what is yours, Danny?
two.
Two. All of it. And
Two of
then
swords.
two.
I
I've
got
got
the
a
same
page.
as you.
All right. So what, Lori? What do you think your card means?
I think that he is trying to gain support of younger males, younger white males. So I think he is possibly gaining a little bit of support with younger white males, is what I'm getting.
Yeah. Danny, what do you think your card says?
Well, so I'm using what am I using? Light Seers Tarot. So a lot of times I go by the imagery of the cards. And in this deck, so normally the two would be at a crossroads of some sort, but here it feels like he's getting wrapped up and tied up in something that he's not really fully aware of what his actions are creating, and he's just getting all tied up, and it's not a good thing. He needs to balance this out, and he's not doing it. And I don't know if any of his handlers, i.e. Miller or Wiles or whatever, are helping in that situation. He's just going off and getting tied up, and not in a good way.
And I just want to add that the first card that popped out on its own was the 9, was the wounded person, the 9 of Wands, and then the 2 followed. So I maybe I didn't make myself clear enough that I do think he is gaining a little bit of support by younger white males through like Joe Rogan and things like that. But I don't think he is with anybody else.
Even Joe is backing away from him,
A little
right?
bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's keep talking, and we'll like.
So Sheila doesn't get a
Sheila
chance.
will never have to say.
It's all right.
Sorry. Sorry. We kept interrupting.
What I got was the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords. It's getting a little prickly for them to follow. It's starting to hurt. The swords have a lot of things in it, like the mental anguish, but there's two things going on. I think it's a stalemate. I don't think he's gaining. I think that we're pretty even right now. The Trumpers and the MAGAs, they're like stable, but they're getting a little prickly. I honestly believe that the decisions, there's still mental anguish in there. Do we still follow him? Do we not? Do we still follow him? Do we not? So I didn't see a loss and or a gain, to be honest with you, in any of those. Yeah, he's targeting younger white males, but are they doing it? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe. But it's still that way. Okay, so next one up. Let's see. A lot of people wanted to know, is the MAGA movement losing its momentum? Things like that. So let's go to another one.
I think that definitely is happening, especially with the Latin, Hispanic, and Cuban.
Yes.
Especially what's happening in the farms. Okay.
Let's read on that and see where they are settling.
The other thing too that I was thinking, the Home Depot owner, and I'm not sure if it's the current, but the past is super MAGA and paid so much money to Trump. What's he feeling about ICE going to his stores and pulling day workers
Yeah, because
He's
I
probably
live
told them to
right
go
around
do
the
it.
corner. Yeah, I live right around the corner from a Home Depot, and they're out there every day. There are day laborers out
Home
there every day.
Depot. Home Depot
Where's
does not want to be affiliated with that. He probably told them to go and stop by and get them so that they would stop. He would love for all of those people to go to Lowe's instead of having them at Home Depot. Home Depot has just been the part where, you know, everybody goes. It was just a higher end. Everybody used Home Depot to go get all of their building supplies. And so they would show up when the contractors showed up. And so they were the day labor. So, but he didn't want that.
Okay.
He didn't want that. It just happened. But he's never liked it. So,
Okay.
so I'm sure he probably, I know a lot about Home Depot, and I'll tell you guys later why. But
All right.
So what's the question?
The question is, go ahead.
You.
Well, the question is the Latino, the Mexican, all of that, are they waning the support? Because I looked it up, like 60%, 55% of them voted for Trump. The Latinos, it was really high. I think it was around 70% that the Latinos voted for. I mean, these people voted for this guy. They believed what the Republicans were telling. They believed that Trump was going to get out all of their people who were criminals. Like, we want to be here in the United States, but we want all of the criminal, you know, Latinos to be removed, and that's not what's happening. So I want to see how they're feeling. How are those voters who voted for Trump, how are they feeling? I know that was
Is
like
one card again?
What do you guys want? You want to do one card or full card?
We can.
You're leading.
Card. I like the card.
How are the Latino MAGA voters feeling?
I mean, they totally disregarded the Democrats who had compassion for them and fought for them. Not all of them. Don't get me wrong, but all right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh,
Ah,
jeez.
Danny,
Ow.
yeah, Danny, what do you think your card has to say?
Mine is the Six of Swords. So they're moving on. They're seeing the truth, and
Some of them are getting on a boat or plane
and getting out. And the interesting thing with this card, with the card that I just pulled, the Two of Swords with the two crows wrapping them, tying them up. There's two crows that are pulling this boat. So maybe this is the time where they're, you know, with the military parade, or maybe it's got something to do with that, or it's just the energy of this time. They're going, enough is enough. This isn't, this is hurting too many people. Okay.
Yeah, Lori, what'd you get?
I got they feel betrayed because they have family members or people in their neighborhood or people that they work with that are getting separated and sent back. All the Venezuelans that had that temporary stay that Biden gave them, and the mayor of Doral, where Trump's Doral club is, and a lot of them work and live in Doral. There's a large Venezuelan population in Doral, and many of them they're going back.
Yeah.
Their visas have been rescinded.
Yep. I also got they're withdrawing their support.
Yeah.
Their Eight of Cups, of course, is withdrawing, moving away, leaving the cups behind, seeing that there's nothing in there, leaving the past behind, seeking deeper meaning. All of that is definitely working on them. And they want, I mean, if the administration was truly involved in making sure all the criminals would be gone, they would have started in our prisons. Why can't they just relieve us of the responsibility of all the actual criminals that are in our prisons? Why can't they just deport them all first? Everybody would have been on board with that. But that's not what they're doing. That's not what their aim was. I mean, when you have children in zip ties, we know what you're doing.
Well,
children.
the reason they're not doing the prisons is because Trump pardoned them all.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I know.
Bad
But
joke.
you know, we know that everybody's like the prisons are money making. We know. I know that. But if Trump was legit, if they were on the up and up, why didn't they start with our prisons to give us relief? You know why? Because then the only people that would be in prisoners are white boys, and they can't have that. Can't have just white boys in there. They have to have a show. But anyways, that's just my own personal opinion on that. All right. So Lori, you had a question, and you get to pick if you want to do a 1-card pull or a full spread. What's up?
Oh, okay. Oh, I just was writing down another because it just occurred to me that with the National Guard, well, we can ask this one first. The National Guard isn't getting paid. A lot of them are weekend warriors. You know, they've been called up into active duty, and they're not getting paid, and they don't have enough food, and they were sleeping on floors. And Hegseth said, "Oh, well, there's plenty of provisions." Well, there haven't been, and there's been reports everywhere that there haven't been. So I want to know if people are just going to opt to not volunteer for the. I think are they going to lose members of the National Guard? Are people going to leave?
I know something about the National Guard, and the moment they put on their uniform and act as a military member, they get paid. So that's a lie. Not true.
Okay.
So that I know for a fact. My daughter-in-law used to be in the National Guard. So,
but they said that on that they're there without pay.
Yeah. No, they probably are not getting supplements like food pay or
oh, maybe that's it, because the next
pay.
sentence is that the local people and vendors in Los Angeles would not give them food.
So what happens is, right, so they get paid military wise, then there's no other way of doing that. But if they're not getting supplemented, so sometimes the National Guard has to come out of pocket for their food and for their lodging. And that's what they're not getting paid for right off the bat. So we want to be clear on that. But they do keep their receipts and then submit it to the finance, and then they get paid later on. And most of them, when they get pulled up like that, they can't afford it right off the bat. They just can't go out of pocket for their lodging. That's the reason why all of them are doing what they're doing. So there's that. But
all right,
we don't want to miss. Yeah, the military has to pay every time they put on their uniform for the military in any active.
But they did say that they could not afford food.
Correct.
And that local vendors in LA were refusing to give them anything.
Well, that's too bad.
Refusing to feed them.
They can't. 9 times out of 10, they can't. Because one thing that happens is when they get called up like that, they have to leave their actual jobs. They have to leave their actual family. I mean, they have to be yanked out of their livelihood just to go and do this. When they know it, when they sign it up, they know that that's what's going to happen. But then if they go and use any money for food or for lodging, they're taking away money from their family. In any capacity, they're, so that's the reason why most of the men who are good men who are in the National Guard will never choose to use any of the family money to eat and or lodge. So it's a really bad situation at some point in time.
Sure is. The whole thing is.
When they call in the National Guard, you got to remember what's going on behind the scenes. These people they're suffering. Like, don't do it. He did it for hyperbole, not for a legit reason. And their families get to suffer because of his dumb decisions to make sure that everybody has, it's all theatrical. And there's real families behind those National Guards who are suffering.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, that I was thinking about was, the National Guard is set up for emergencies, and mainly where we've been using them is for disasters.
Like
to
when
help
we have
with
a hurricane, they come. Exactly.
Right. And now, and they are there for if there's some kind of riots and things like that, which there wasn't in LA, but also bringing out the military. They're not trained in to deal with civilians in this way. It's like you're somebody, and I mean, they're trained in war, not in civil unrest. And so that's where it's going to get really ugly in my opinion. And I'm hoping that they'd say this isn't what we signed up for, and they just
it depends.
lay down their weapons and say, no, I'm with the protest. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
But they can't protest. That's for sure. That the military can never ever protest. They can never say anything about the president. This, that, and the
Yeah,
other.
I think
What they
all
can
of that.
they can refuse an unlawful demand.
Yeah.
And by law, they're supposed to refuse it. Like if it doesn't matter if the president gives it or if their commander gives it. If they give them an unlawful thing, they are not allowed to follow that. They have to make their own decisions at the time that they hear that. So if it's all along with an unlawful command, they could get punished for it legally, like prison. So, anyways, I want to bring this one up there. I just sent my son, who is a diehard MAGA, why they have not removed prisoners that already are locked up, still waiting for an answer. Yeah, I agree.
Right,
okay, so what's the question?
I'm changing my question because Trump is saying currently that it's very likely that Netanyahu will strike Iran. So I would like to know, will Netanyahu do a military strike on Iran?
And do you want us to do a one card pull or a full?
We can do a one card pull. I'm going for the top of the deck, guides and angels.
I'm gonna do my true crime, see what we get.
Okay. Will Netanyahu order a strike on Iran? If that happens, the Saudis are going to yank that money back from Trump.
Danny, are you ready?
Yeah.
You were supposed to look at your card.
I know. So now what does that do? Does it mess up the energy?
Oh, but what do you got? Interesting.
It is very interesting.
What do you have, Lori? You have 9, Lori?
9 of Pentacles.
I have the 9 of Pentacles.
That's what I thought that card was. Okay.
What does that word say, guys? Help me out.
Perversion.
Perversion. Okay, thank you. My dyslexia sees a different word every single time I see that word. So, Lori, what do you think your cards mean?
Well, I think that this is a yes. And I think it's to protect themselves. They think it's to protect themselves, or there could be money involved in it. Perhaps they feel that Iran is backing Hamas and Hezbollah. So I would take that as a yes.
Yeah. And that, to me, it feels like it is a yes card, and it's all about protecting the little garden that she's in. So it's about money too. So it's about, I think, retaining money, not so much. And I don't know how that plays into Israel retaining money by striking and starting a war with Iran. And is it just a strike, or is it going to be a war?
Well, a strike could lead to another strike.
Yeah, of course it will.
I got perversion. What that really tells me is they're going to spin it so good that everybody's going to just go, oh, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what they do. You know what I mean? It's like they get away with it all the time. I just want to say hi to Jackie. Jackie's here in my text message. Before we go on, she has a question. The question is if David Jolly can win the Florida governor. What do you think?
I did a reading on that a couple of days ago. What do you got? I got that he has a lot of work to do. A lot of work. Heavy lifting to do. It wasn't a no, but it was going to be really difficult.
Do you want to do a really quick one card pull?
Sure. Well, David Jolly, who is now operating as a Democrat.
Was he a previous Republican?
Yes.
No trusting in that.
Well, he was, he's a big political person in Florida. So he's running for Satan's seats. Will he win?
Somebody says is innocent. Says I self-diagnosed my dyslexia. I have been medically diagnosed with dyslexia. Mine is mechanical. Anyways, okay, ready?
Mechanical dyslexia. What's that?
I'll tell you in a little bit. Here,
Okay.
Hermit. 2. What does yours say?
Mine's the King of Wands.
Huh. That has a lot of work to do, but it's likely he's probably not gonna.
It's going to be difficult.
It's gonna be difficult. He didn't Hermit self reflection self. Boy, I tell you what. See, you can't make
Digging
this
up
stuff.
information on him. Yeah.
Yeah, I get with this King of Wands, and there's a lion in the background. So he needs to draw on that strength. I think he has some information and some messaging that he can get out, but he's got to get it. He's got to get that messaging right, and he's got to use the strength of his power animal behind him and bring that to the front. So yeah, a lot of work. I'll go along with that.
Yeah, mine literally says unemployment. So
Yeah.
and Lori's cards were exact on. He has a lot of work to do, or he's going to be unemployed. So.
Oh boy. Texas is mobilizing the National Guard right now.
Yeah.
Because of all the protests.
They're not even started. Or are they still going?
It just flashed across. I have it on in the background.
Good God.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
hey, can I ask a question? Since we're talking from my community, because I just saw it. Where is it? I don't know where it went. Oh, well, never mind. It was about somebody in New York. Oh, Mike Sherrill. Is he going to be the next Democratic governor of New Jersey? Since we're talking about
let's do one card pulls for
what's his name? Mark Sherrill?
Mike, hang on.
Mike Sherrill?
Mickey. Mikie.
That's the female.
Mikie Sherrill. Sherrill.
Okay, she's a female. She just won the Democratic primary for the
yes, she did. Correct.
Governor. All right, so will she win the governor's spot?
Jackie goes, it's a she. It's a she.
It's a she. It's a she.
It's a hers. All right, you ready? Here we go.
I keep looking. Hang on.
Stop looking. You're supposed to do it with intuition and surprise.
Okay.
Pick a card. Ready?
I got a new card.
2, 3, go. Oh, maybe.
Looks pretty promising.
Yeah, Lori, what do you think yours card says?
Oh, but what did you get, Danny?
I got the Emperor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not very promising for somebody else. I think this looks like there's a good chance. She needs more money, but there's a good chance.
Yeah, I also got the 6 of Pentacles. Her hard work. She gets plenty of votes. Charity, this is also balance between giving and receiving. So she figures out how to talk to the people and sharing the wealth and kindness. So she shows up with everything they want. So that's what I got. What do you got, Danny?
Well, I pulled 2 because I cheat and I keep looking at the cards, and I'm just a cheater. That's bottom line. So I got the 4 of Cups. There is an offer, but it doesn't feel like she's it's going to be smooth sailing for her. This Emperor card, is she going to be too heavy-handed with something? I don't know anything about her, but or is somebody going to be too heavy-handed on the other side? I don't know. It seems like it's not going to be fun for her to do this campaign.
What was the first card that you pulled when you cheated?
But my cheating card was the Four of Cups.
Okay, so that's oh, you said that right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks promising. And as soon as she figures out how to talk to the people, she's going to gain. I think that's what the whole thing is. As soon as that, and the Emperor, I just think that she'll show a strength and power is what I got from that. But anyway, let's go with that. So, does anybody else have any other questions? If we can continue on. Lori, did you have another one?
Well, did you want to ask about how the protests were going to go in Florida?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, because Satan was on TV saying he's trying to get a 2% raise for all of the firefighters and police, and he said, they have to do so much, and now they're even required to implement riot control. And it's like, riot control? Why did you just say that? We've not had any riots. What are you talking about? So he's talking, he's letting us know, he just did a Trump. He just told on himself. So how will the protests go this Saturday in the state of Florida? I think we're going to have big turnout.
You get to Fort Myers. And you get to choose full card or one card.
Let's do one card.
All right. It does make it go faster, doesn't it? And we still get the same information. All right, you ready? Don't look at your card, Danny.
I'm not looking. Danny, don't cheat.
Ready?
Peter, I'm going to look at all your cards first.
Here we go. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. What does yours say, Danny?
The Star.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, so we're hopeful that
Justice.
Well, Danny, what do you think your card?
What do you have, Sheila? The Magician?
I got the Magician.
We all have major arcanas.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal, but I don't see anybody. I think that the protesters outsmart DeSantis and the thing. That's what I think with the Magician.
Maybe we should do.
The protesters throw their magic out there and they outsmart them.
Yeah. Well, in the Star, for me, it's all about hope and joy and balance. So it feels like some of the protests. A lot of times they'll have it's a celebration in a way, because they'll have music, they'll have speakers, they'll be getting people, getting people informed as to really what's going on. So if they keep it kind of a starry, joyous thing, then the military is going to have a hard time, doing their evil deeds to control the crowd if the crowd is not out of control.
If we keep it the way we have in the past, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I do think that's what I think what my card says is the Magician is they kind of get they get the power. The protesters get the power. They throw their magic out there. They keep it peaceful. They get the word out. They get shown, even if it's 10 minutes or even a 30-second little clip that Florida supports all of this. That's all they need. They don't need any more hyperbole after that. Yeah. So I think they kind of throw a Magician out there and they what do you think, Laura? You're at ground zero. So what do you think? What do you hear?
I mean, I hope that we do it the same way we've done the other two. I only attended one of the past two because I didn't mark my schedule off fast enough, but I marked it off well in advance for this one. But if we do it the same way we did the other, then we'll be all right, because we didn't burn anything or loot anything or crash into anyone's stores or anything like that. So I don't understand why. I think there's just sometimes some crazy people, but We didn't do anything like that, neither in Cape Coral or Fort Myers. And now we're pretty much all going to Fort Myers. So I just think it's going to be the same. I think it's horn honking and a lot of signs and maybe a taco truck.
I think that everybody should call every single street taco truck to have them show up and just literally skyrocket their income that day. I really do. I think that
yeah, but who normally runs the taco trucks? So,
who?
well, the Latinos.
Well,
Yeah.
but a lot of them feel very hurt and rejected and upset. So maybe they'll make a point of coming out there.
I don't know.
They'll see us supporting them, regardless of who they voted for. Again, like I said, they listen to all that. But when the energy shifts, and then they see that we support them and support them financially, maybe we're making an impression. We can't disregard them, but I think eating tacos is the way to go.
Yeah.
I just do. I think everybody fill up on some tacos. And it's just another slap in the face to the taco Cheeto who tries to figure out that he can, which is ludicrous. All right.
A lot of the people that run taco trucks are fully legal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, somebody
you're
in there
fully
was saying
legal.
they'd be afraid of ICE showing up.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't matter if you're legal. It matters.
I see
Brown,
what you're saying.
out of here. Yeah.
Oh, that's the angle you were getting, that you didn't want to put the danger.
Right.
Wow.
I didn't want ICE coming to.
That is scary. Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you, whoever explained what I was.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry. I got that wrong. Sorry.
Ooh, that full moon energy is just messing with my head still.
It is. It really is. All right. So let's continue on. We're actually at an hour, so we've gotten a lot of questions in, but I do want a few more. This one is like a spiritual one, so I think we should do a full card pull on this one. It says, does the younger generation spiritually and politically viewing this? How are they viewing this?
Right, that's a great
generation. Yeah, how are they viewing this spiritually, mentally, emotionally? How are they viewing all this? My 11-year-old grandson wants to go protest with me. I'm still out. What do you guys think? Should I take a charge?
Yeah.
Should you take him?
If he
wants to go, and I'm going to take him in Denver, and I've already told him that I would, but I also am grandmother protective. Come near my grandchild, we're going to have problems.
Oh, well, then maybe not.
You know what I mean? We will have problems. But I also think that I'm surrounded by people who, wouldn't hurt him either. So
what do the younger people think of?
Let's do a full card pull on that. What are the younger people spiritually, mentally, emotionally?
Of this whole thing, of this whole Trump thing?
Viewing this whole political atmosphere. What is it that's going on inside of them after they're experiencing and viewing this whole political atmosphere? Yeah.
Okay. And then I hope we can do we were so good at getting the June month for the big problems for Trump.
We did. Oh
we
my God.
Did.
Still impressed with that, to be honest.
I'm getting goosebumps. That was really, not only, we got it several times.
Yes. June is a problem. Thank you, Rose Blue. Bail money for Sheila. Money for Sheila.
That's a good one.
Touch my grandchildren, and I guarantee you they'll be bail money.
Oh, that's so funny. In a sad way.
All right. Whoever lays down first, go for it. I'm still shuffling.
You ready to go, Danny?
I will go. I'm just rearranging my cards, and people go, "Are you cheating again?" No, because I get to with this deck that I'm using. I'm using the Galactic Heritage deck, and so this talks about how you can how other galactic people, societies have transitioned like what we're doing, like how they've gone through this time. And the interesting thing here, it's got past, present, and future. The thing with this and talking about the younger people, there's no past cards at all, which is kind of interesting. There are 2 present, there's 3 futures, and then there's parallel time streams. So the young people today, they're all about the future. They're all about, they're getting more and more touch with their psychic gifts that we all come on into this planet with, that were shut down because they said, you're crazy if you talk to spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. Now it's becoming more and more customary to do that. And the crazy thing, not the crazy thing, but they're the ones that are gonna see this thing through and to get us back into our true spirituality. I got the last card of the deck. It's 108 cards, and I got emptiness, which is all about creativity. It's not about hanging on to the past. It's not about creating forcing something in the future. It's all about letting things be where they are, and they get to start all over again, and create something new. And one of the time stream cards I got is forgiveness and gratitude and playing like a dolphin in the water. I could go on, but I'll stop.
All right. Well, that is a very positive outlook.
Yes.
For them. And I did get can I go, Sheila?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I just started talking.
Yep.
So I got that they are looking forward, that they are trying to create something in quantum physics thinking thought way. I do feel that they're seen that way, and they are working with the arts. They're definitely working with the arts. However, right now they're just a little bit withdrawn, I'm feeling, and they've lost a little bit of their optimism. They've just, they had so much more hope, and that it's sort of, and they don't like the division. They do not like the division that's occurring, and they think things are gonna come to a standstill for some reason. But the outcome card is a little bit better. The outcome card is, we can try to put this all together and make it happen. I think that they may have to put off buying homes or financing things. It's a juggle of money, and so in that essence, in that vein, so I think they're feeling both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do think that I got the same one. But I think they're triggered. They're highly embarrassed. The appearance of what's going on in this country. They are really getting to the point where the threat is starting to affect them. And they're like, we have to grow up in this. We need to do something. And so I get the Queen of Pentacles and the cleansing. They're like, we're gonna clean this up. We're gonna do something. So whatever is going on inside of them, they almost all of them are unanimously has the we're gonna clean this up. We're gonna fix this kind of attitude. So I also get the due diligence where they are going to sit down. They have a plan, whether they're collectively talking about it or not, but they have triggers. They're going to name that place, name that reason, name what they're going to do. They have everything, it's really weird how I've gotten all of this information where they're planning a future without us. You know what I mean? They're literally planning a future without the devil because they're plugged into the internet. They're getting rid of all of that. And this was a surprising thing that I asked at the end. What is it that they need, or what is it that they have that can really change this? And they got secret gifts. Can you see that? They have secret gifts within them that we haven't even seen or experienced yet. So the universe has given them the ability to cleanse their future, which is really, really good. And the nice thing about it is most of them and all of them are going to outlive any and all of the politicians that are alive right now.
Even Chuck Schumer.
Oh, Chuck Schumer's, they're going to outlive almost all of them.
Really?
Stop it. So they're going to outlive them, and they know that once all of this, that's the cleansing that they're. Okay, that was a pretty good read on them. I didn't expect that. We got to watch out for their gifts. They have.
They have.
Oh, I don't think we need to watch out for them. I think
they have manifesting
skills.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them. That's what I meant.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You want one or two more questions? We can do two.
One more. I gotta take a biological break.
Okay. Well, we're going into a spiritual realm. My question is, what can people do to spiritually and politically? What can people do spiritually to block the authoritarianism control?
What can they do spiritually to block? Okay.
What can people do spiritually to block the authoritarian control?
Yeah.
What can people?
And then we'll do pull a card for the collective.
Do I have to pull a card, or can I just say what I think?
It's up to you. It's up to you. I just wanted to see what the cards had to say about what can people spiritually do. Now, I always talk about critical mass constantly. Keep that vibration of future. Keep that vibration of going forward. Keep that vibration. Just hold tight so that critical mass, which is here.
Yeah.
So
I get there's power in numbers.
Yes.
You got to make a group, get in your group, get your tribe, bring what you have to offer. Let other people will bring what their talents and skills are, and we work together. They're making a church, or maybe it's a unity church or an all-faith church, so maybe we can pray too.
Yeah.
What do you got, Danny?
Well, so I didn't pull a card because I thought on this the very first thing that I woke up this morning. I was thinking dark thoughts about what's going on in the world and thinking about Pumpkinhead. And I'm going, what the hell? That's the first thought in my head this morning when I opened my eyes. And so I was reminded of a practice where you imagine you imagine yourself with golden white light and violet light showering down on you and cleansing you and taking the bad stuff away, putting it back into the earth so it can be transformed and transfigured. That is something that when we start thinking these negative thoughts and we start going down the rabbit hole, we do have to pull ourselves out of it. It's up to us to remember, and what you were saying, Sheila, remind us what we want in the future. Because what we're stuck in this present ugliness, put it into the future, transform it to a future time stream, which is a parallel to what we really want and how that's going to feel to us. And that gets us spiritually out of the negative and into the positive.
Correct.
I love it.
And that's a good reminder. Thank you, Rose Blue. That's a good reminder, too. Speaking of critical mass, the Pope is on Saturday, too. So pay attention. You can, whoever is staying at home, make sure that you're watching the Pope, not the Trump. Give that if you're interested in something like that. I'm not a religious person whatsoever in that aspect of an organized religion, but I do like this Pope, and I like how he talks. I hear the message through the message. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, what I got was the Four of Cups and the Hierophant. So disconnect yourself from the energy that, do not accept it. We can pay attention to the political. We can understand what's going on in the stories, but I do not or mentally connect to it.
Mhm.
That is a talent that I had to learn a long time ago. I used to be in a store, and all of a sudden I would feel angry, and I didn't know why I felt angry, and I finally realized it's because somebody in the store that I'm next to, that's the energy. So I learned to disconnect myself. I would feel the energy, knew it wasn't mine, and reject it and had it move along its way. I always say this: when a bad thought comes through, don't touch it. You don't know where it's been.
Yeah.
Don't touch the thought. You don't know where it's been.
That's funny.
Go wash your hands with some sanitizer and just let that thing just float on by.
You don't know where it's been.
Not yours.
Whose mouth does that come out of?
Yeah, I know Danny's got to go to the bathroom, but Danny, you can just say goodbye if you want to.
Oh yeah, you guys can keep going.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
do we want to ask what month Trump will be removed?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
Will he be removed?
Got
And
all
will
of
he be removed?
Yep, I'm going to shuffle these. I'm going to shuffle
right.
these. You guys figure out I'm going to shuffle them, and then you guys figure out how you're going to randomly ask for the number or whatever it is that we're going to do.
Oh, is that the number deck you have?
This is the month
Deck.
The month deck that I have.
What month will Trump be removed?
Because I have, so I'm
Take
shuffling them now.
Will he be
And then I'm
removed?
spreading them. So you guys, which way do I need? So Danny, you come up with either I go left or right. Left or right. And then Lori come up with a number.
Okay. Hang on. Left.
You want me to go left?
Left.
Left, or right? Left. You want me to go left?
He's asking still.
Yes.
Left? Yeah, left.
Left.
Okay. Now, Lori, come up with a number. 1 to 12. Okay. So left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. January. I know.
Well, so maybe there has to be legal processes before the actual removal.
So when I asked the pendulum, I said, give me a month. What month? I got 1 with it. So in January is 1. But I'm still, I don't know, maybe it's just me hoping. I'm still feeling that it's a lot sooner than January. Feeling.
Yeah, maybe it all, there has to be a legal process and things or hearings or whatever. So the actual removal may be January. We could ask, is he going to be removed? Or is it 1 month? Oh.
January, I think. I don't know if there is a question we can put out there. We can ask which month he messes up really bad.
Ask if there's going to be an interim government in July.
An interim government in July?
Yeah.
I don't know what does an interim government mean?
Like if he's taken out of control and they put other people in control of the government.
So like they remove him from control?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they
You want to do this or ask a question, or what do you need?
Will
I
there
want-
be
I want the question. Will there be an interim government
Do you
in
want to
July?
pick?
in the next 2 months?
In the next 2 months, will
Yeah.
there be an interim?
Are we pulling cards?
Cards. Just cards.
Will
And
there
it'll be, let's do one card. Do the,
one card full, angels and guides. Top of the
and if any of you all cheat,
Yeah,
don't
Dan,
look at
stop
the card.
cheating. All right, I got mine. Whenever everybody's ready. One, two, three.
Oof. There's a calling for it.
Yeah, this is the investigation
Yep.
into the Empress.
Empress.
Maybe this talks about how Kamala Harris won. The investigation into how Kamala Harris actually won and Trump cheated. What was your card, Lori?
Judgment. That's coming together.
Yeah.
People rising
That
up.
literally, yeah. And then he got the Empress.
Yeah.
Like the evidence starts to show, and that may be the reason why January they shift over or something happens.
Well, he asked if there's going to be interim government in the next 2 months.
Yes.
That doesn't make any. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean it looks like a yes. It looks like something happens.
Yep.
Or at least that they show and prove that Kamala Harris
And
won.
maybe they just make it final in January. You know,
Yeah.
like legally
Right.
finalized.
Yep.
That is true.
Mm.
They can, if there's enough evidence, they can overthrow an election. However, once he's already sworn in, there's a big problem. There's a big
problem. Yeah.
high bar of all of that. So
Yeah.
all right, one card for the collective, and then we'll get out of here.
All right.
Good.
What?
I'm crossing my legs.
Oh my
It's
God.
like,
Well, run, Danny, run. You
no,
can't.
I'm good.
Okay. Card for a word. We need a word. We need a word. What do our guides and angels want us to know? Someone said I looked sad. I just didn't get good sleep, you guys. It's full moons, you know. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh my gosh. It's been rough sleeping the last couple nights.
I agree.
I woke up at 3:21 and I'm like, I should be doing something. It counted down 3:21 go. And I'm like, but I want to go back to bed. Something's
The energy is really here. Yeah, I agree. All right, whoever's got theirs first, go for it.
Oh, I thought we were just doing a one card pull.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're gonna give them the last collective.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So go ahead. What does your card say to the collective?
Well, mine is the Knight of Wands, and that means incoming and change. There's action. Things are taking place. The horse's hoofs are off the ground, and they're charging in. So there's going to be a lot of change and a lot of incoming information, and it's very powerful.
Very good. Danny, what does yours say?
I'm using Beyond Lemuria because I'm going there soon. I got vulnerability. And when I look at this card, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's all right. However, I get with this, the dragon energy that Lori was talking about, where maybe all this information is going to make us feel a little vulnerable. So even though I say it's okay to be, it's also okay to protect yourself from being too vulnerable. So with this card, I'm also getting take care of yourself, take care of your psychic tools, be a hermit a little bit, and be grounded, and take care of yourself. That's what I'm getting.
Yep. And I just wanted to mention we had 975 people here. So thank you so much for that. Please hit the like button. It really, really helps to get the videos out. Please subscribe to Danny if you haven't already, to Lori if you haven't already. And of course, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please do so. We're fun. As my friend in Ireland always says, we're delicious. So please do that. And I always want to thank all of our monitors who are here, our troll players,
yes.
And help in the chat and give out information and answer questions that we don't see. So there's that. And all of the donations that we did get today. So mine here is the difference. It says intolerance. Intolerance says differences are seen as threats rather than growth. Opportunity is be inclusive and strive forward. So when we are all taught in this country, especially, and if you were born and raised in an organized religion, what's the first thing they tell? We are the true church and everybody else is lying. They already automatically give you that other outlook on life. And the truth is the more we encompass the differences, the more we embrace all cultures and ways of life and things like that, we become stronger. And that is the message for today. Embrace everybody's differences and cultures and languages and things like that. They are not a threat. They only strengthen our character. They strengthen who we are. We strengthen our bonds. And, authoritarianism cannot fight against that type of strength. They just have no weapon against it.
None.
When we know the difference between the strengths and that. So anyways. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jackie, for always helping. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. And
thank you, everybody.
Stay safe if you're protesting on Saturday. And if you're staying
wear
home,
jet or black tourmaline, that's very helpful to stay grounded. Jet or black tourmaline, very protective.
Yes.
Bring it with you. I always bring my crystals in my backpack. If I have any things to keep me grounded, keep me focused, and keep me vigilant. So that's a recommendation. You can put it around here. I don't like wearing jewelry, so I always put it either in my backpack or whatever, fanny pack, whatever you have. So stay safe, stay vigilant, and we can do this. We really can.
We can. I gotta go.
All right, bye.
Bye. Bye.